Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
How many remote controls do you have laying around your house? I imagine it's more than you can imagine. And yeah, they have universal remote controls, certainly. Do you have a remote control for your computer? I mean, maybe it's a media center. You use the remote control to make the channels go up and down and watch photos or whatever. But I mean, like controlling elements on the screen as if you were using a mouse. Yes, there are certainly hacks available that would allow you to use your Wiimote to control the mouse. You might remember, I think we did a video on that. If not, then we certainly were discussing it at geeks.pirillo.com. Well, last night, I got an email from one of you in the community at live.pirillo.com and making mention of an app that is $6 in the App Store, and it's called AirMouse. With this software, you can control a computer, whether it's running Mac OS X or Windows. So, yeah, you may have an iPhone or an iPod Touch connected to Wi-Fi, and you likely have some kind of computer running either Mac OS X or Windows. I'm just guessing. So, this could be a match. I read the reviews, and they were pretty good. A lot of people, most of the people actually, were complaining that, oh, it's not free, or the client isn't ready for Mac OS X. They just released the client for Mac OS X. So now it was certainly worth taking a look at. For $6, I figured, what do I got to lose? Even if it wasn't perfect, at least I could, have fun with it. So I did buy it, and now I'm going to demonstrate it here. I've got it running. It looks kind of like a black mouse. I've got a right and left mouse button. I've got a little keyboard because yes, I can enter in text on the screen, whatever app. I mean, I'm basically going to be controlling the computer remotely. A middle part of the mouse, the Air Mouse, that when pressed, it would allow me to move the cursor without really interacting with anything else, unless I was like grabbing a hold of a window and moving it around. And then a scroll wheel as well, a virtual scroll wheel. So, I don't have to point it directly at anything since I'm already connected by Wi-Fi. I've got the cursor enlarged. You may not be able to see from that distance. But I'm going to click, and I don't know if you heard it click. Did you hear it go chick? Can you guys hear that? I hope you can, at least. Okay, so now the cursor's... Oh, okay. It's a little sensitive. There we go. I got the window. So now I'm tilting right and left, and as I'm doing that, the window is moving right or left because I grabbed a hold of it with my virtual left mouse button, and I can up and down. It's using the accelerometer. Here, let me get closer as I move around here. See, I'm holding on to the mouse, the virtual mouse, still, so I've still got a hold of the window. Tilt it right. Right, left, up, down. And again, I can do this from anywhere. And as I said, I can interact with the screen as well. So you're saying, well, Chris, what about right-clicking? Yeah, right here. Watch a little context menu pop up on the screen. Did you see that? It popped up on the screen there. So it does work. Oh, so let's try to enter in some text. So let me get that cursor down onto the line for the chat room here. It's a little jittery, and I tried to adjust the sensitivity, but it's still way too sensitive for my taste. Okay, I've got the I bar. So, Kissa, tell me what to type in. I will key it in here, and Chris Pirillo MVP17, that's the person that's logged in here into the chat room, will enter it in on the screen right at the same time. And just to prove it, look. Okay, so that's a bunch of, gobbledygook. All right, so give me something real to type in. Try to keep it short if you can. Of course, now I have to wait for the lag and delay to catch up. Air Mouse rocks. Well, it's 2 words, by the way. Air Mouse. Geeks rule. Okay, so we'll type in Geeks rule here. Geeks. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. Here we go. Look at that. Instantaneously. It's so cool. So let me show you here. There's the settings. It's just a local IP address and a port. And then you can adjust the frequency. at which, it updates. And as I said, I can control the screen. So I press the middle button to move the cursor around. Wow, it's way overly sensitive. And I'm just, moving stuff around. Imagine if you had to make a presentation. You could obviously use... it's way difficult to move around because it's kind of... The mouse is still a little jittery. It's definitely not perfect. But, it's better than nothing. And now I can have a remote control with me. So if I'm doing a presentation on the road, I've got a remote control for $6. Because I'm going to be carrying my phone anyway. So I thought it was certainly worth sharing with the rest of you. When I was demonstrating it earlier on the live stream at live.pirillo.com, I sold 3 of them to people who were watching, like, whoa, that's amazing. I can't believe that. And I was like, yeah. So $6 is really not that much to spend if you do a lot of presentations, or if you just want the wow factor of being able to control what's on your screen from across the room. Again, using the mouse, keyboard, whatever. And I'm assuming the app is only going to get better over time. Kudos to them for finally releasing a Mac client as well as having the Windows client. So it really doesn't matter which one of those operating systems you use, and you're likely using one or the other or both, then you should be able to get your $6 worth out of Air Mouse. I expect to see greater things with it over time. And if anybody else has any recommendations to make for software, for iPhone apps, for whatever, drop me a line. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. I do see everything that comes into my inbox. And, I may not be able to respond to everything, but certainly the more interesting ideas you guys come up with, the more likely I am to respond and potentially even turn it into a video if it's really, really cool. So thanks again for that specific recommendation of Air Mouse. I do appreciate it. Now, I made mention of the community website where, we're just hanging out, during the day. It's a website, so, people are online. You can browse and see who's online at any given time. And that happens to be, if I find it here, at geeks.pirillo.com. I was actually going to give it a test, which is always kind of a dangerous thing to do. But you can go to geeks.pirillo.com and find out who is online by clicking in the right side, who's online. And then I'm going to scroll in here and show you. It's going to load people's avatars, and then you get to browse through them in like a cover flow type of fashion in your web browser. Apparently we have a lot of people online right now, though. So many geeks at geeks.pirillo.com. You're also welcome to join us in the chat room. That's where you get to be a part of the video experience that we have here. Whatever you would call it, the Pirillo experience. We're typically talking tech 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.